We believe that the lockdown in the state of Massachusetts is coming within days, so we need to start the preparation.
It wasn't a long time that we had to get ready to shift the operations remotely and shut down all our facilities.
I remember taking, this probably sounds silly, but taking my plants that I had in my office out of my office and putting them in my car and like turning around, it was like, am I ever coming back?
I think we shut down on a Monday at like at 8:30. Really is when things really were closed. We were just wandering around stunned, really.
The core staff that have been here, we're all just waiting to walk back in the doors.
We were very resilient, and we were very resilient to continue our services. And if you looked at how much services were happening via telehealth, or services didn't stop in foster care, services didn't stop in adult community supports. So we had to keep on supporting those community living arrangements.
I've been doing early intervention for almost 20 years, and all that time was in person. We had never done telehealth.
We were trying to roll out devices and things right away. We deployed about over 200 devices in just under maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Mike and the IT team worked really hard to get those assets in the hands of team members who didn't have those assets, or families or individuals we serve.
There are many families who were really maxed out because they had other children home and didn't have another available device. So we were very fortunate to get a few more grants, and we were able to put some iPads out in the field and use them as loaners.
So I think the schools were sometimes pretty surprised by how well we were able to do with telehealth. And they're like, we're struggling to engage preschool children on the screen. How are you doing it with younger children? So then we really had to explain, we're not trying to engage those younger children, we're trying to engage the parent or caregiver.
Because early intervention is really working with the parent to teach the parent how to help their child.
We are the only agency that has its own visitation center. DCF was closed and all visits were virtual. Biological parents were not able to see their children.
There were several grants that were provided to help fund the visitation center.
So that's how we really were able to invent this, exactly what we wanted the visitation center to look like.
That environment can be very warm and welcoming and feel very safe for the visits, and it's so important, and it's exciting to think that we might be able to replicate that service in a couple of new locations, because there is a significant need for that.
We are very happy with where it is today and excited for what it has for the future.
Trying to find any kind of good in this pandemic is, we've all become extremely creative thinkers. We can pivot on a dime. We knew that the way that the rooms were set up before, we had to change everything.
We received fundraising funds that went to upgrading the floors, upgrading the classrooms, upgrading the whole DayHab space.
So this room was a PT room, and we knew we had this huge open space, and we thought, like, what can we do with it? And we thought, like, making it a cool adult hangout room, a rec room.
To get all of this decorated and redone, and it was so beautiful. When they first walked in on that first day, April 5th, 2021, after being closed for a year.
To hear that noise in the hallway, that's when I cried. When I would hear chaos coming down the hallway, when I would get an air high five, when you would hear laughter and singing and craziness happening.
It was just beautiful. It really was, and to have life back in the hallways. It was the greatest gift. It was the greatest gift.
We have so many fantastic people who work in KDC, and it's really the reason why we continue to be KDC is because of the people who do the services.
We've had leadership change, we've had a pandemic, we've had many layoffs.
The staff are so committed to the mission and just carrying that forward. And it's all about the individual served.
I am so grateful to the staff at KDC for their resilience and their determination to pivot and adjust and adapt through all of the unknowns of the past couple of years. It is an impressive organization filled with incredibly dedicated people. So we are here today because of them.
If I could describe KDC in one word, it's innovative.
It's collaborative.
Compassionate.
We're inspiring.
I think we're a cut above the rest.
I would have to say team.
It's an amazing place to work.
It's the KDC family.